offending.
That was totally my plan right before Josh sent me the link. So I'm kind of already half-mast. So
all right, YouTube. So you caught us at half-mast, if you will.
We'll be full mast shortly.
We'll be full mast shortly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am full mast right now. I mean, mast.
Mast.
So
whichever.
Mast. Oh yeah. Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah. So we were just recapping the events of the week, and I apologize for not being on right now. I am solo at my job, in my shop. My employee guy, he hit a deer on his motorcycle, so he's indisposed. So I'm there by myself. So including some wargaming bits that I can't talk about, but I shouldn't even brought it up. But I do need to get with Sweetland if he's not in here. I do need to get with him. But yeah, I'm doing some stuff for him, and I've been swamped, man. I've been getting my ass kicked. So anyway, neither here nor there. I apologize about not being here last week and letting you guys down. I know you can't survive without your weekly dose of heresy. Of course, it seems like nowadays there's a lot of casters out there filling up the ranks, man. Shit, and hats off to you guys for not taking our freaking Wednesday spot. I know it's tempting, this being prime time and all, but anyway, neither here nor there. Shit. We're here to give you your daily or your weekly dose of heresy, and other goods, because we're so much better at other goods. But let's get started, man. Shit. So we'll start off with our usual hobby progress and what's on the rack. You know what I'm saying? So, Pretty, why don't you lead us off with what you're working on over there?
All right. Well, it's been a pretty good week in hobby, man. If you look at my camera, or if you look at the little box, you can see behind me, I've got some freshly built models. Well, it's about 3/4 built. But let me just bring that a little bit closer.
I'll show it to me.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Feel it.
Oh,
Feel
yeah.
it.
Full mass now, baby.
Yeah, feel it.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Got some nice models.
Avengers? That's some Avenger X?
2 Avengers, man.
Nice.
Because I thought about getting 3, but I didn't want to be
that guy.
Well, I probably will be that guy because I already decided to order a 3rd one.
Those are for your Imperial Fist, right? Because you're too much of a pussy to get on the ground with the Iron Warriors.
No. Check it out, babe. So those are actually for my Mechanicum. As you guys know, I love to run Caleb Decima, and I've decided to go fully old school with an full Istvan 3 themed list. So I'm following the Istvan 3, Caleb Decima, Force Org, if you will.
Nice.
So my only fast attack choice is Avenger Strike Fighters, but I'm actually going to run them in the Lord of War slot as a suborbital strike wing, so I can bring a couple of them.
What's a fast choice?
Yeah. I don't really. That's something even by Mechanicum. I don't have Voltrax. I've got Vorax, but they're not built. They're in a bag. I really don't run fast, so this would be kind of something new for me. But I got those. I built those. You can take a 0 to 1 Space Marine tank in a heavy slot. So I'm taking a very special Laser Vindicator Squadron in that slot. So it's going to be all Mechanicum built.
Nasty.
Yeah. So the flip side is, like I said, I'm pretty restricted on a lot of the other stuff I can take. But I think it's going to be a real fun list once I get this other stuff built and painted. So that's what I've been working on. I built those 2 Avengers this last week or so, week and a half. Built 3/4 built because I'm leaving some parts off for paint. The Laser Vindicators, and I've got a Basilisk that I started building, but I stopped because I think I'm going to order an Armageddon pattern Basilisk instead because I like the enclosed. Yeah. It just seems more Mechanicum to me, or something like they would do. I don't know. It just it gives me wood whenever I look at it, so I feel that I need to order it for the army. So that'd be that's going to be an upcoming purchase. And yeah, so that's why I've been working on. The Fist have they're going to get picked back up. I actually just got some stuff to fill gaps on the Spartan and the Land Raider Proteus or the Protei. So this weekend, once I get back from Austin, we're going to be doing some gap filling and priming some vehicles, I believe. And
what do you got going on? What's going on in Austin? Nothing hobby related, or am I missing
no,
something?
it's we've got a rescue event for the dog rescue.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we're going to a Dogtoberfest.
Dogtoberfest.
Yeah, Dogtoberfest. So we'll be in Austin. I'd give you the details, but to be honest, my wife has them. I don't. So all I know is I'm going to Austin.
Going for the ride, right? Along for the ride.
But last thing on hobby, Jake and I have been doing a lot of hobby talk, and he's convinced me to make another purchase. So I'm ordering some Terminators for the Fist. Because Jake and I are going to do a bro team up for Adepticon.
No way!
Yeah.
It's going to be hot as shit.
Here first.
Yep, it's going to be hot as shit.
That's going to be something to see right there, man. Y'all are slowly trying to knock me and my brother off the team to beat. Looks like.
Yeah, so we've been talking about that a little hot and heavy the last couple of days. We sprinkled some gun talk into it today.
Lots of heavy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But just so it wouldn't be too one-sided, we talked a little bit about guns this afternoon. So
yeah,
we did that.
Good thing he's got enough beard for both of y'all. You smooth-faced woman. Oh wait,
we'll just stand close to each other, and I'll just kind of comb mine over, so that way it
that's right.
His face too.
I will share in the beard.
It's No Shave November. Oh no, it's not No Shave November yet.
Nope, not yet. Well, when it hits, I'm going to be doing that. So
are you going to no shave in November?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm no shave 2017.
Right. I'll tell you, man. I'm no shave since I was 12.
But
like I seriously think like I could connect.
Wait, do testicles count?
Oh, I do shave the testes.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah, it's common courtesy, man.
Yeah, that's just cleaning up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to manicure the lawn.
Yeah.
Plus, I love how smooth they feel. Ooh.
Josh, you don't want to offend anybody. Let's stop talking about freshly shorn balls.
That's my forte, man. I love offending people. Yeah. From the halls of Montezuma.
Yeah. To the shores of Tripoli.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, so speaking of offending people, no, we'll get to that a little bit.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Jake, what are you working on?
Well,
I cut off Pretty. He was like,
Pretty. Yeah, go ahead and finish, bro.
He was going to say something about the Imperial Fist, but I cut him
No,
off.
actually, I wasn't. I was going to kick it over to Jake, but he stepped on my dick. So
I step on dick too.
Yeah.
Big fat anaconda dick.
I've started this thing. I've really been wanting a Proteus for a long time because I think they're probably one of the cooler looking tanks that Forge World makes.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got probably 3 to 4 Phoboses lying around that are assembled. And so I just haven't ever pulled the trigger because I'm like, well, it'd be stupid. Like, I think the rules for the Phobos are a little bit better for me because I like the assault ramp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'd use the Explorer Augury Web or whatever it is as much. I like the versatility of the Phobos a little bit better. But it's something about like when you put a Phobos on the table next to a Spartan, something just doesn't look right. Like it just doesn't jam. And so I started looking at those Blood and Skull Industries kits, the $40 to $45 track kits that basically give it, the Sagittarius kit. And I haven't bought one yet, but I've kind of forced myself into that position because I just took my Land Raider and tore the whole top off of it and just cut off all the tracks. So I guess I am going to spend $45 for Adepticon on it. Yeah, I'm kind of in it now because the tracks are not salvageable anymore. I glued the shit out of those things apparently. So it's kind of fucked right now, but it's okay.
Yeah, the technology.
This whole
be repaired.
Adepticon thing has just really got me a freaking heresy boner going because I didn't hobby at all for about 4 or 5 months after I moved into my new house, and just a multitude of things. 8th edition coming out. There's a heresy scene kind of dying up here. me moving, an hour away from my local game store as opposed to 15 minutes away from my local game store. But ever since we started talking about Adepticon, and I don't know, I've just been
Boner City,
rock hard, baby. And so I've got 20 Gray Slayers assembled. I need another 10 assembled. I've got to assemble 10 veteran TAC Marines that I'm in the process of procuring. I just ordered some. What I've done for my Gray Slayers, I don't remember if I showed these on the live cast or not last time I was on. Maybe I had. I don't even know if I had them together.
Show them again.
But I'm doing all boarding shields. I don't know if you can see that or not. But I'm using the boarding shields from the Gray Hunter kit from the Space Wolf pack from 40K.
Nice.
Just because I have a shit ton of them lying around, and they look pretty good. Like I think, and they fit real well, and they're themed, and they were free. So those kind of all the things I love.
Those are all good things.
So like I hear you're
I've got
you're painting like a shoulder pad yellow, and like Pretty is painting all his shoulder pads gray. So I feel like and y'all gonna model it, get some green stuff and model.
No, it's just the cod pieces. So that way everybody knows where the dicks belong.
Oh yeah, sure.
If only I could show Josh the picture I sent you, Jake. For our
yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
y'all into
my
bestiality
biggest
or?
No, it's much better than bestiality. I mean, I guess it could be bestiality. They were kind of hairy. But the other thing I've been working on was I've got this little box dread that's a Space Wolf Forge World dread that I really, really like. For box dreads aren't the greatest. And so originally I was going to run him with a chain fist and a close combat weapon. But when you do the points, he's only like 5 points cheaper than a Contemptor Cordis kitted out the exact same way. And the Cordis is better in every single way. So I was like, well, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
so I was
but
like, well, maybe if I give him a gun, right?
Something nostalgic about putting a box dread on the field, though. You know what I mean?
Right, and that was the thing is I still wanted to field him, but I wanted to field him in a little bit more efficient way, I guess.
Sure.
So I was like, well, if I give him a gun, maybe that would be better because I leave him with a chain fist, and I give him a weapon so he can shoot, give him a different role so he's not trying to perform the same thing that the Cordis is. And so then I came on the Flamestorm Cannon, which is one of my personal favorite weapons from all of 40K, 30K, whatever. There's just something about a Strength 6 AP3 Flamer that says, hey, pick up your Marines.
Shit, yeah.
That just really gets me rock hard. So I took, and I've got, I'm a 40K Space Wolf player, so I've got more plastic Space Wolf shit than I know what to do with. And I really like the Flamestorm Cannon kit, but I've got two of these, the Hellfrost cannons lying around from the Space Wolf Venerable Dreadnought kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what, that would that could kind of work. As a passable counts as, because you look at it and it's like, it's got this little diffuser on the end. It's basically just creating, it basically let it just blow shit all over somebody in kind of a short range something.
I think it works, man. It's the future. Yeah. Flamethrowers can look like that in my mind. So
yeah. It's like the dead dragon on Game of Thrones. It just blows the blue fire or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking at that. And I've been kind of wondering because I was catching up on some of the 40K Space Wolf stuff I missed, and I've been trying to figure out what a good analog would be for that. And yeah, that looks fucking tight.
Yeah, it looks good and it fit good on there, and it's different. It adds that kind of Space Wolf vibe to it. And so in my mind, it's kind of like a precursor to the Hellfrost cannon. It's kind of less teched. So it's shorter range. It's diffused instead of like a real focused beam, and it just kind of blows a fucking snowstorm on somebody within,
cold fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It blows.
So that's what I've been working on. Just because that way too, he has a different role. I drop him down. He's got a heavy flamer. He's got a big stupid flamestormer. So he drops in and he just annihilates troops. Like that's his job now. Instead of trying to kit him out to where he's more of like an anti-tank threat or something like that. And I still get to run him, and he gets to just kind of waddle all over the field.
See, I dig that a lot because most people throwing dreads out there, they make them anti-vehicle. That's like 90% of the dreads you see on the table. They're kitted out to fight vehicles rather than fight infantry.
Yeah.
Well,
because especially the Cortises are really good at it, Yeah. But like when I was playing in 40K, in pretty much every army I ever had, I loved dropping dreadnoughts for some reason. when I played a Vulcan list, it was always like dropping multi-melted dreads because I was twin link, so it made sense. Dropping rear armor, blow shit up. But then I started playing my Blood Angels, and I had 2 of the Furioso dreadnoughts with frag cannons and heavy flamers.
There you go.
And man, you could just fuck shit up with those things, and it was like, so that was the first thing that popped in my mind. Once I came up, I was like, well, what about a Flamestorm cannon? And I was like, oh shit, that's kind of like my old Fragioso dread. I already like where this is going. This is going to be good. Like I can work with this now. It's in my list, and I don't feel like I'm wasting the points, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on.
I like the way dreads look, but I've never really been a big dread. It's never been one of those things that, even the carries, as badass as the carries is, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking to myself, God, Jesus, I just, it's one model. It's one model, you know what I mean?
Oh, man, I love them.
You used to love my Iron Hands dreads, dude.
Dude, yeah, when they're fucking me up the ass. Yeah, sure, I love them. I love to fucking blow them up. That's what. God damn. What do you mean? He stays in the pod. I remember the first time. I played against that. I was at my orcs. I was like, oh yeah, the orcs. Oh no, you're hitting the pod. What? What are we not hitting the pod? He's not out of the pod yet. I can see him. He's there. He's shooting me. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's like that Navy 12 shield, buddy.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this bullshit.
That was like a better void shield, whatever that rule was a thing. It's like dreadnought drop pods with better void shields.
Yeah. Oh, you get a void shield too? Oh, that has three void shields actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I did have a great idea that everybody shit on. I was going to build an entire Space Wolf jet bike army using nothing but Logan Grimnar sleds.
Jesus Christ!
I think that would be pretty. Like that would probably go over real well with the 30K community, wouldn't it? Like, I mean, it's proper like counts as, huh?
Counts as, yeah. That's some old school shit right there.
Like, I would love to. It's almost worth buying. It'd probably be cheaper. But it'd almost be worth building and painting up just to take to Ryan Kimmel's house.
Yeah.
And just set it out on the table and watch him just completely rage out on it.
What the fuck are you doing?
Because he hates him so much.
You might actually give him a stroke. We don't want to lose Kimmel like that.
Yeah. Especially since he's, especially since he's taking on the mantle. Hey, so
not till after Adepticon.
Not till after Adepticon.
Yeah,
so let's,
after that.
What a way to intro this segment right here. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, hang on, Josh. You left Eric out.
Derek. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey. And Zach's
here. My bro's here. Woo. Oh, yeah. It's made it. Hell yeah. That's my bro. That's my bro right there.
Got a righteous looking beard starting out.
Hell yeah, man. That's my bro, man. He's got the genes. He's got the genes.
Got some gray. Like very distinguished gray bush. I mean, gray beard.
Gray beard? Yeah. We just get better looking. That's right.
If the carpet matches the drapes, Zach, I'm in, baby.
You ain't got no idea. I got racing stripes. That go down to my
from the rooter to the tutor.
Hell yeah. Oh, so my bro's here, my bro. We got plans, man. Shit, we're bringing the pain, Decepticon style, man.
Yeah, they didn't have a discipline big enough for us, I guess.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, we don't want those Del Rosa boys taking 1,500 points and cramming them in people's anuses. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
I've seen it.
So we got it here. We got the boys here. Shit, let's talk about it. I'm foaming to mouth. We'll come back.
Still leaving Derek out.
I'm Peyton Bolton. What are y'all doing?
Fuck Derek.
Fuck Derek.
Derek, you got 20 seconds, Derek. Go.
Yeah, you better talk fast.
I'm painting bolters. Back to you.
Fantastic.
And now for the weather. It's wet.
It's hot. It's wet.
It's hot. That's good if you're on a lady. Ain't no good if you're in the jungle.
No, Josh is fucking foaming at the mouth, dude. I got to hear this.
All right, come on.
Okay. So So it came out that the Adepticon lists, the Adepticon games were released. They were leaked out with to the public on the Adepticon Horse Heresy site on Facebook, and immediately there was like bad taste, like how they put like a handful of pennies in your mouth. Not that you've ever done that, but
I've done it. It's gross.
It's fucking horrible. That's what it is, because you don't want to puke and you taste like all coppery and shit, and then all your stomach turns and your boner, kind of. Anyway, so
It's like a mouthful of blood.
Mouthful of blood. Yeah. There's only a few things worse than a mouthful of pennies, and that's one of them was mouthful of blood. But anyway, so it hit, and people immediately were like,
let's kind of take it a little bit slow into it, because I mean, I love the Graying Legion. Like,
I love the Graying Legion. Graying Legion is
they definitely, to me, like, I think they definitely like set the bar at last year's Adepticon. Yep. They kind of did. They kind of definitely took the narrative, the immersion to a whole new level. Had an awesome map and very cool, intricate ways of scoring and stuff like that, and
very well thought out.
Matchups and pairing people and decision making. It's not just like, okay, well, you play here and then just tell me your scores or whatever. It was a lot more like they definitely put on a badass fucking event.
Oh yeah, okay. Without a doubt.
Go on, bro. I had to. You gotta soften it up before you.
Yeah. Before, you
gotta do like one
of
these
these
a little bit before.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I'll let my
work it with a finger or two.
So now that my brother's tongue the balls a little bit,
I'll let Garrett in the chat. So just to Garrett said, "Holy fuck, events leaked." No, the events didn't leak. Graying Legion actually posted them out.
Yeah, Josh, come on. It's not InfoWars. Info, out here.
I got it right here. It's right here in my hand.
It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah. No, they put out a listing of what they're offering for 30K this year. And they always usually beat out the registration by a few weeks.
Yeah.
So
Julian Assange didn't contact me personally.
Yeah.
Somewhat related. I bet that I see 4 a day. InfoWars bumper stickers on cars driving into work.
At least.
Just for Josh Cork, though, I mean, these are my Gorgon super heavy transport vehicles. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, those are legit. Like, get an eyeful right there.
That's it right there. For those of y'all that don't have these, Josh Cork. Yeah, I hope I'm pulling for you, man. I really am.
Because if you don't have them, you're not getting them.
If you're not kid bashing, making your own out of
toilet paper tubes and avocado pits, you're not getting one. So
who told you?
Josh,
like making them prison wine style.
I love you, Josh. I love you, Josh. But I gotta rub the salt in the wound. And I'm fighting for you, man. Like, every time Forge World posts up, you will see my hashtag, not my Gorgon super heavy transport. Yeah, I'm adamant about that. I will fight the good fight for you, Josh.
Good luck with your erector set. I hope it works out.
I hear if you get like 5 Contemptor dreadnoughts, a dreadnought drop pod, and a crib disc, you cannot even get close to a Gorgon super heavy transport. But that's just what I hear,
Well, he may MacGyver it. He may throw a rubber band, a used tampon, and some chewing gum, and the next thing you know, he's got one built out of this.
You never know. Yeah. Kid Bash 3, Thunderhawk gunships, you might be able to get yourself a Gorgon.
That's what Forge World should do. They should come out and say, if you buy 3 Thunderhawk gunships and 1 Stormbird, you can build.
we have the super secret plan. The super secret plan.
It's like in Voltron, that shit.
Like Devastator.
And I'll form the head.
Get out of here with the college and shit.
Oh shit. Okay, so
all right, Josh, go on with your
mouth foaming.
Much love to the Graying Legion. They do a fantastic job. and it's not really a gripe, but immediately you're like, oh, because I last year, I'll be honest with you, I looked for everything that had a 2,500 point list, so I could bring the most amount of models I could possibly bring. I even put together 100 walking world leaders to showcase more of an army instead of just, you put a Spartan out there, and that halves your army right there, or your thirds it, your quarters, whatever. But I mean, with as expensive as the models are, the expensive as the models are to field, and then you have a 1,500 point list. I guess my concern was, man, I have all these beautiful models. I'm not going to be able to share with all these people at Adepticon because, I can't fit them in a 1,500 point list. I understand, traveling and packing and stuff like that. It was always a concern of ours, to get all the models there safely. Of course, big models like the Warlords and the Warhounds and whatnot. But I really think, like, and Pretty, I know you can attest because it looks so beautiful when you just spread your army across that battlefield, whether it's, industrial volcanoes and smelting pots or the rolling fields of Kansas, Michael Montalongo's opium fields, so anyway, I mean, I could sense it in everybody's, wow, where's the big point matches, I mean, and not so much for, hey, let's dominate the battlefield with my super heavies or my let me but hey, man, wouldn't it be nice to see a Mastodon at Adepticon? I mean, it is one of the biggest events of the year, I mean, but how can you fit a Mastodon as a Lord of War into a 1,500 point list? It's impossible, so all these great models get left at home on the shelves, unplayed, unused, and I guess my point is, hey, I can play a 1,500 point match down at my local hobby shop in a couple of hours, why go to a Adepticon? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love the guys. I'll tell you, number one, Adepticon is camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? The people you meet, the beers you share, the bottles of vodka that flow. I mean, it's great. And to be part of that, and Nate's mega battle, the super huge battle that we had last year, total blast. It was awesome. Chaotic, yes, but it was fantastic to see that many big models on the field. But what I want to see is a well-rounded, balanced, army, fully painted, in full regalia, across the battlefield from mine, and ready to face off. I mean, we work all year to put these models together and to build these conversions and whatnot. And I tell you what, Ryan Kimmel's got one of the most beautiful armies I've ever seen. His word bearers, the first year when I came out there, was like, bam, he was the first one I got paired up with to fight with on the same side. And all the candles on his land raider. Oh yeah. I'm taking it deep. Yeah, I figured since you sucked off the Grand Legion so good, I'd have to suck off Ryan a little bit. But no, I mean, I want to see that. I do. I do want to see the rare models that no one gets to play or field. So, when it comes to Adepticon, this being, yes, it encourages new players and stuff like that, but if we all know, if we look at registration last year, there's no shortage of new players in the 30 field battle front, So with that being said, hey man, let me face off against 5,000 points of freaking just murder, and we'll drink beers, we'll get shit faced, and we might get to turn 3, or we might take a break and go drink a couple beers and tip a couple hookers and with bikini tops on, of course, and then come back. Those are the best games. Is when you get to really get into it. But I mean, hey man, we work hard on these models. Shit, let us show them off a little bit. Fuck it. So
well, I think to your point, Josh, it's a good. Like I don't mind playing some of those interesting games, those interesting. Mission setups and army build rules and all that stuff, but it would be nice just to have the option, at least one event one day, would have been all right, bring us 2,500 Age of Darkness and as part of the narrative track,
Yeah, yes,
and
definitely.
play.
I just feel that 20, like at least 2,500 is the sweet spot. 2,500 to 3,000 is that's when Heresy like kind of comes into its own. Like,
Sure.
Well, the
like
reason I play, like I said, the reason I play Heresy, it's because I get to take a Praetor, my Fire Drakes, maybe even Vulcan, throw them all in a big fucking supersized Land Raider, and drive them across the table at people, because that's like, in my mind, that was kind of what I always enjoyed about Warhammer, but it never really worked in 40K.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't an optimal choice. Well, it works in Heresy. Like, you can take a bunch of shit that beats ass, put it in a Spartan, and drive it at people. The problem is you have about 1,670 points all wrapped up in one unit. So,
fuck yeah.
like, at that point, what the things I enjoy doing in Heresy, I cannot do because I'm out of points.
Yeah. So I think the good thing is that we saw out of all of the stuff that went on the last few days once they announced it was these guys and these guys plus the Adept guys that were at the Adepticon, they're open to that feedback, because as soon as all this feedback started coming in, what happened? Kimmel offered to put something together. It got set up, and now we have another Thursday event, which is how over the last couple of years it's morphed from having 1 day of narrative, 1 day of tournament, to multiple days of narrative. It's they are listening. So I think next year, hopefully, we'll even see a longer narrative track with the bigger games.
Yeah, well, there was a little bit of tension there for a bit, because people like people didn't come out and say that. They said these are the events.
Yeah.
And then when there was a little bit of feedback as far as not having the bigger games, and they said, well, y'all don't, well, if y'all want to do that, just come out and do it yourselves or whatever. And we're like, well, if we're able to, like, we didn't score the contract or whatever, like, that's not, like, we don't know what's available to us. And as soon as that was an option, then yeah, of course we stepped up. I mean, our Kimmel stepped up with the tables or whatever, but I was ready to do it at the fucking open, the open gaming tables or whatever. Like, you got a problem with Josh's, chauvinistic, attitude or whatever. Come, bring that shit to me, man.
Yeah.
Meet me on the field of battle. We'll be up above the Bits Bazaar or whatever.
With your boobs out or whatever. I don't give a shit. Man boobs, girl boobs. I don't care. Shit.
Yeah.
I think it by the pussy. Oh shit. I think it also probably came as kind of a shock, because every year for the last several years, I mean, there's been nothing but like, oh, badass. As soon as it's announced, everybody's like, oh, badass, this is awesome. And this is the first year, because it was so different. People were like, oh, wait a second, this isn't what we want. And they shared that in many ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think there was some shock from the guys running it. We're like, fine.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Yeah, fuck y'all. Yeah, we're working real hard over here for you, and y'all gonna shit on us? No, I mean, like I said, and I can see Zach's point where, hey, let's give credit where credit is due. They do a fantastic job. They have definitely stepped up. But I can understand, hey, having a game like this, especially with all the new players, a lot of these guys, they're coming into 30K as a primary. They've never played 40K, or and we're seeing more and more of that, like last year especially, and games were moving slower because, of course, everyone's consulting rule books or, this and that, and I've always looked at 30K as like a refined 40K, you know what I'm saying? Very refined, you know what I'm saying? It's a gentleman's game, you know what I'm saying? And not to be all snooty, but I mean, what I'm saying is that it's a progression of, because you're playing the history, and there's so much more to the game than just, hey, you know what, we landed on some no-name planet and we're getting feedback from Xenos creatures, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean, this is, hey, we know what happened, we know what's supposed to happen, and yet here we are playing the history, you know what I mean? And a lot of guys, especially with narrative, you got to have that, you can't just forsake that, it's not all about ass kicking, and my argument never was about, kicking someone's dick in, I feel bad, but having a good game that you enjoyed, with a good opponent, with a beautiful painted army, I think all those things play into, the Adepticon atmosphere. You know, I mean, here I got to play next to Freddie the Swede from fucking Sweden against Michael Johns from fucking Australia. You know what I'm saying? Or he's a transplant, right? I mean, shit, but I mean, still, you know, I mean, that's the fucking glory of it. You know, I mean. Hell yeah! I mean, and those, and I know that from here on out, those friendships will always be there. You know, shit. We met on the field of battle and we duked it out. You know, heck yeah. So I look forward to seeing everybody at Adepticon. You know, whether you're playing in a narrative, whether you're playing in tournament, or whether you're just out there having drinks and getting in on some mega battle action, this and that. But I really hope that some of you guys that have those beautifully painted armies, bring them in force, man, and put them out on the table and sit up against, you know, my 3,000 points or whatever, you know. I mean, shit, I think it's going to be freaking glorious, you know. And once you're out of fucking heresy, like you're out of fucking heresy juju, you know, you just sit back and eat a fucking pizza from that bar and drink some beers and some black velvet and, you know, go about your day, you know.
Yeah, bring a friend, man. We'll take you on.
Yeah.
We'll set it up. Like you could take on the De La Rosa brothers.
Shit, yeah.
Get the double stuff.
Come get some.
Get some.
All holes filled.
And then we'll meet in the elevator for some
Ears included.
Yeah.
some late night
Holes, no way.
sodomy. Yeah.
I think there's literally going to be something for everybody this year. You know, 3,000 point narrative games, small point narrative games with the storyline, the Great Legion, tournament games, the GM games. I'm actually interested in if I can get into one.
Hold on, there's GM games? I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, there's GM games.
Who's running that?
They're at the bottom of the list. They're very specific, though.
Robin's
running one. David Robinson's running one. I forget who's running the other one.
That sounds pretty tight. I'd like to get into that. Are they small, like super small? Are they like a tactical strike? Or is
it doesn't say points because they provide all the models. So
okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, you remember? Do you remember
you could only sign up if you had those armies?
No. Do you remember the Iron Warriors versus Fists?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So that was one example. So they're doing that one again. They're doing War on the Webway based on the Master of Mankind book, which that's the one I really want to get into. That David Robinson's doing.
That's not the Talons one, is it?
Yeah, it's got the Custodes, the Sisters, Demons.
Talons versus demons. Yeah. I think they said there was a Warlord Sinister too.
Yeah. So there's some shit going down like that. So yeah, there's something for everybody, man. I think you know, regardless of what you get into, whether it's what Kimmel's running, whether it's what the Green Legion guys are doing, the team, the 2v2 on Saturday, which is going to be fun.
Me and my bro.
There's something for everybody out there.
That's 2v2. That's 1,500 points apiece.
Yeah. I know, man. And that kind of puts the kibosh on what we had planned, you know, because we were hoping for at least a 2,000 point. What were we looking at? 2,000, 2,500? Would have been nice.
Whatever. 6,500 each.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All the points.
All the points.
All infantry.
I was doing the math for this Port Mall shit, and I'm like I can't squeeze it. It's too tight. I can't fit in all the models I want. No, it's not.
I don't know what to do with that. There's so many rules now. I'm just like I don't know.
Yeah, they're talking shit about the Ox, bro. Like the Ox they're too cheesy for APOC.
Dude, you were talking shit about fucking Ox. You, bro.
No, that the two things they brought up are the 2-up saves and fucking like repair like a motherfucker on 2-ups or whatever.
Well,
and those are both Ox things. Those are both Ox cheeseness.
It's only on the first turn. The Warlord trait is only on the first turn.
Yeah, well, still, like a 1 turn in an APOC game, you know.
That's like 2 hours.
But at least they didn't look at your.
I really expected better out of you, brother.
Yeah, look at your main super heavy and they're like, oh, you can't take that at all.
Jake, goddamn. Why am I getting crucified?
There's no blowjobs for winning, man. There's no blowjobs for winning.
Play the mission. Play the mission. I'm just playing the mission. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Jesus. I'm playing the Ox, dude. They're freaking dudes.
Yeah, they're fucking douche.
Douche.
That was one of the most fun games I've ever listened to from as I was playing my game on the other side. Just the banter, the back and forth.
Like Josh is like some of these aux rules just sound like, oh well, of course, I just of course I have the.
Do you remember that time when like you took a cover save?
Matrix.
You took a cover save. You remember that time you took a cover save, and then then all of a sudden you weren't in cover anymore. Yeah. Speaking of like douche rules, that's all you, bro. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
No, I'm taking a leak. Hold on, I'm away from the.
I just envision because I just think you're like right to the left of the camera. Like you didn't even go for it.
He's got a 2-liter Mountain Dew bottle. Just set
I was gonna say Mountain Dew bottle.
I'm like, oh, so good. Oh,
yeah. No need
we're on
for
the same page.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I can't concentrate.
Fucking wireless mics, man.
Only on TFL will you hear TFL pissing.
Oh yeah, it's fucking good.
Yeah. So Josh and I played this game, and it was Solar Aux.
Pissing contest.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we haven't gone over our little game day, right?
Oh yeah, we haven't gone over game day. Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, we'll just do real quick. Solar Aux versus Sons of Horus, 2,500 points apiece. I played Sons of Horus, Orbital Assault. Josh played Solar Aux, Super Cheese, Shadow of War.
Blind Barrage.
Everything.
Blind barrage.
Everything. You can't see
Dude,
me.
I don't have a freaking Primarch.
You're weak. I'm powerful. I'm good looking. You're good looking. I'm not attractive. No, so Josh takes 150 dudes, 6 Dracosans, and a Stormhammer or whatever.
What a dick.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you mean dick? They're dudes.
And the basically the Sons of Horus drop. Josh gets first turn, and he just positions his dude because I null deploy, and then the Sons of Horus land and can just subsequently just wade through bodies and bodies of Solar Aux for 5 turns. Yeah, we played that stupid mission. What was it called?
It was well, you played it too. Treachery and Blood, or
not Blood in the Water. Fuck.
What blood?
I don't know. But basically, it's like he's got to get guys into my deployment zone for more points. Enemies deployment zone by themselves with no enemies in it is 7 points. No man's land's 5, and in your own deployment zone is 3.
Right.
And so I null deploy, so I have nothing in my deployment zone. So it's kind of like fair game for Josh first turn. And so I just basically I just drop pot all around him and try to keep him in his own deployment zone. And we just wade through dudes after dudes, and they die, and they die, and they just keep fucking getting shat out of Dracosans.
Dracosan power, yeah. But to be honest with you, I took everything out of the Dracosan first turn. You know what I'm saying? Like I used I had to fill up my deployment zone so he couldn't land his shit in my deployment zone. So I mean, he's drop potting in. So he talk about like the Solar Aux can't drop pot in. They don't just magically get to appear on the other side of the board. You know what I'm saying? But
Josh, that's a. That's like super fluff.
I mean, they can disappear before they die and reappear somewhere else. I mean,
there's just one guy. There's one guy that can do that.
The warlord.
The one guy. One guy.
Space Marines can't do that.
And there's a chance he can't do it.
Why can't Space Marines do that?
You know what Space Marines can't do? Their leadership blows. They should have, the Primarch's here. We all get leadership 10. Nope, y'all guys suck. Y'all don't even fight hard for y'all's Primarchs.
Yeah. That's another thing. The fucking Lord Marshal, like, we're all leadership 10 because he's around here somewhere. I don't know.
He might be okay.
We have the best leadership. We're better than all Space Marines. It's fucking some human guy that fucking.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, how is the Lord Marshal better at that than like Horus?
Yeah,
who defied the.
Hey, you know what? The Horus answers to the Lord Marshal. I just want to tell you that.
What the fuck?
Like I'm better than Vulcan.
On the bridge, they're like, so Lord Marshal, what do you think? Oh, well, here, let me tell you, Horace.
It's just him being nice. It's his leadership style.
You know what it is? It's because Horace can't understand human thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're Space Marines. That's their disadvantage. They don't know what evil lurks in the minds of men. That's why I'm going to stick to that.
Well, how many tanks does your Lord Marshal have named after him?
A lot. It's like that's Bartholomew 1. That's Bartholomew 2. That's Bartholomew 3. Yeah.
I've got the Lehman Russ Exterminator, Lehman Russ Executioner, Lehman Russ Demolisher. The list goes on.
It
just sounds like lazy to me.
It's just,
like, oh well, I don't want to think about a name.
Hey, Macarius was a dude. Macarius was just a dude.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And there you have it.
Josh is cheesy, and he almost gets.
No one says go get in the Dorn. Let's just get in the Dorn.
Go get in the Dorn.
That means something
Everyone
totally different.
To the Dorn. Yeah, right. That's Fulgrim's battle cry on Friday night. Get in the Dorn.
Get inside me.
Get your ass in the Dorn.
Get your ass in. Get your Dorn in his ass. Oh shit! What were you saying, bro? What were you saying about my Solar Rocks?
Anyway, Solar Rocks got their asses kicked, like almost to the man. But Josh, and then Josh switched gears and said, "Oh, I'm going to play the mission and run my tank way over here." Apparently, like tanks are scoring in this mission.
Yep.
So he had like 14 scoring units, and I had 4, and they were all just like.
So who won, bro?
Yeah. Josh rolled up the unlosable mission. Yeah.
The unbeatable locks. Yeah.
Josh is happy with that win.
I tell you what, honestly, every time I play my army, I tell you, I play my World Eaters. Last time I played my World Eaters, I played to murder, and it was the wrong play. Like Pretty totally sucked. It was you against you, right, Pretty?
Mm-hmm.
It was my World Eaters against your Mechanicum, and you sucked me into like defeat. Like he's like, oh yeah, is that what Angron would do? And I'm like, fuck, dude, no, it's not. It's not what Angron would do. Angron would just totally piss off everything and go for the murder. You know what I'm saying? And I did, and I paid for it, man. But I played the game the way you know. And you know what? That's maybe why the Ox comes out ahead is because they're meant to win. You know what I'm saying? They're just. You're cold. You're
pussy ass Ox. So how'd your game go, Pretty?
Oh, fucking terrible. I'm 0-3 against Jay's White Scars. It's I love Jay. His White Scars are beautiful, but when I see him coming out of the bag, I'm just like, fuck me.
Hey, you know what though? I beat Jay's White Scars with the Ox. You out model counted him. I was like, Jay, you did fantastic this turn. You took out 22 guys. I took out 3 jet bikes. That leaves you only 72 more to go, and I got what, 6? Yeah, it was.
Dude, no lie, that's a badass looking army too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Well done.
Gorgeous.
But it's man, we played the same mission, and so with his multitude of jet bikes and his outflanking skimmers, he was in my deployment zone, he was in his deployment zone, he was in the middle, and then he was killing my my 5 scoring units very quickly. And once that happened, what are you gonna do? So yeah, it was a pretty short game. We were done in round 4. So
you know what? One of the things I've learned though, I mean, and this is I guess it's like I used to like to just get up in there and start killing. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, let's get in the range. Like if you're playing Dawn of War, right? Where you're, I guess, on the close edge. Where you're close to your opponent. You can be in the shit relatively quick. Second turn, you're trading blows, right? Fisticuffs.
mm-hmm.
But you have like 4 more freaking rounds of shit to get through. You know, I mean, you can't like, oh, I'm on the objective, shit, but you don't score it until the end of the game. You know, so
Yeah.
I started keeping that in mind. You know, especially with the aux, because fucking, you know, you run up there, you get on it, and then it's like you're right out in the open. You're like, oh yeah, I got the objective, boss. Look, I got the objective. No, yep. And turn 4, you just get annihilated off that objective, off of every objective. So I had to stop playing like that.
Yeah, it's fun. I always enjoy playing against Jay. He's a great player. He's fun to play against. But yeah, the White Scars, that current Mechanicum build that I played, it's no counter to the White Scars at all. So that's kind of how that went.
Is it the ferocity?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's able to move across the board very quickly.
They're Asian.
They're Asian. That helps. So they do math very well as they come across the board. Yeah, they also $5.
Oh,
but
it made you hot.
$5.
Yeah, they did.
Jeez, I'm proud of you, man. Look at all this politically incorrectness coming out of
I
Yes, it's like he's come to the dark side.
It's taken all this time, but it's finally happened. But yeah, man,
Derek,
it's
you are next.
You know, so the squads are, you know, you're looking at 5-man squads of jet bikes. So with their Jink, now of course with Thalax, I give them a penalty of -1 to their cover saves, but yeah, that doesn't always. All it was doing our first round was negating night fighting. So then I took the Thanatar Calyx, which is totally not the right Thanatar to run against that army. So 1 shot versus a pie plate against jet bikes is a pretty big difference. Also, the regular Thanatar would give him a -2 to his cover for that pie plate. So might have had a different effect with a different Thanatar in the game, but it is what it is. It was good to roll some dice, as short as it was.
Derek played too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Derek did play.
I got my first game in with the old Space Wars.
Yeah, the Greys.
Talk about it. Let's hear it.
So,
I wanna hear it.
as Pretty said, it was fun to roll some dice.
That's what losers say.
That's a loser. That and the aux are cheesy.
So it's a little bit of background. Michael basically wrote my list, and he was playing his drop potting Dreadnought army. So that went exactly as you'd expect. He had the gentleman's pleasure of letting me go first. So all my drop pods just kind of came in to an empty battlefield and looked around and said, okay, well, I guess we're here now. And then he dropped his dreadnoughts in and just started opening up with Leviathans and fucking Grav Flux Bombards, the fucking what's the other shit that Leviathans can just put on? The
Phosphex?
Yeah, Phosphex discharge array.
Fuck a lot of Phosphex, all right?
Salty.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, but Zach, you and your Phosphex go fuck.
But I'm not gonna let you finish.
You take your Phosphex. Zach tried to mindfuck me in our game and Phosphex the shit out of my guys.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it went exactly like Zach wanted. You know?
He immobilized my Leviathan and like I tucked him into like I don't know,
charging,
getting close but not charging, shooting at something else. I didn't want my Leviathan to be charged, and I was like, "Oh, I got this Phosphex. Thanks for coming in range." And
yeah, fucking dick, cold black hole.
Yeah, I just totally like wiped his squad. The only thing in range.
Like 20 dudes. Like he
Yeah, creeping death. Creepy death.
Like, oh yeah, but I get to move it back wherever the fuck I want because I don't even know why I scatter because I don't need a scatter.
Just keep in mind though, there is that limitation on the creeping death. You can only move it if it would put more dudes under it. So just gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah. Fantastic.
That's good to know because sometimes not in a killing mood,
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, man, I really don't want to cover all these guys.
Here I go killing again.
Here I go, kill him again. Yeah. Oh, I have to. It's the rule. It's the rule. I don't know.
I know I
Right.
filled all those prospects, but I'm not trying to be a dick. The rules are making me do it.
Keep going, Derek.
All right.
So the mission we played was the one with the kill points, and then you pick, like you secretly pick at the beginning of the game a unit type, like a vehicle walker, or vehicle tank, or infantry, jump infantry, stuff like that, and that's worth extra kill points. So he's got all dreadnoughts, and I've got pretty much all dudes. I don't think you can pick a vehicle not tank, because he was kind of looking at that and seeing if he could just pick drop pod and just get a whole bunch of bonus points for killing all my drop pods.
What a dick. That's a dick move. That's not playing a mission. That's
Yeah.
just playing the dick move. I'm going to kill your drop pods for the win. What?
Well, I mean, he needed
Okay.
something to do turn 5.
And he was pretty excited about killing those drop pods.
Yeah, so it doesn't take him long to clean up most of my squads. Like I said, those Phosphex arrays just kind of erased a couple squads. And
Yeah, talk about something that needs to be nerfed right there. That's a nerf.
yeah, I just didn't have the capacity to deal with that many dreadnoughts, even with multiple vets, even with power piston units. I just couldn't handle it. And by the time it comes down to late game, he's like, "All right, well, the game's still going, so I'm gonna have my dreadnoughts run around and, you know, have a little bonus level smashing all these drop pods around." And he had fun doing that. He had a lot more fun at that. He said it was like the like that bonus level in Street Fighter where you beat up the car.
Yeah. That's dick. That's dick. That's dick move. That's like, I'm going to beat you so bad your drop pods aren't going to want to come out next time. You know, it's like, fuck, man.
He's like, well, I mean, that drop pod's still alive. You still got models on the table. You can catch like rear armor with that twin link bolter.
Yeah. It could happen. Bullshit.
So yeah, that's about how that went.
Yeah.
Little ass to ass.
Ass to ass.
Ass to
Ass to ass. Yeah. Oh, that's harsh, man. You drop pods. Like, hey, man, I'm going to let you go ahead and pick up your drop pods and we'll just call it here. You know? No.
Hey. Jake, have you played any games?
Have not. It needs to change.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I just got that I don't know, that notice about that event in Kansas. Did you see that?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's like straight up from me, like in Wichita. Going to Wichita.
That seems like a far way away. Is that far?
Wichita. How?
7 Legion Army couldn't hold me back. The from Tennessee.
Not from like you guys. I know it's far from me.
It's like
Wichita,
9.5 hours.
Yeah.
Is that far?
Pretty fucking
Yeah,
far.
sort of far. Yeah.
Most
good
of that
ways.
is Texas.
That's a
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah, seriously, that's like 90% Texas right there.
Yeah, you just cut right across Oklahoma, and then it's right there.
Oh, the taking of Phoenix.
Yeah, Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking or Phoenix, however you say it. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Next summer. I was thinking about it. Just planning ahead.
So am I the only one going up to San Antonio next weekend?
What's going on in San Antonio?
The ISFON event they're doing.
Who?
The
There's
Go-
Go-
22nd.
Go-Large is redoing what they were trying to do for the Harvey benefit event.
Oh,
Since only like a couple of us showed up to play, they're rehashing that scenario.
okay.
Yeah.
Not
On
this
the-
weekend, but next weekend, right?
Yeah, like
Right.
the 28th.
Yes.
And that's like right before Halloween. You know?
Yeah, I'll be at the Texas Mile, so I will not be in attendance.
What are you doing this month? Pretty
What's that?
race are you gonna race the Nissan?
No, hell no.
Do you go faster with no AC? Do you go faster with no AC?
It does actually. Roll the windows down.
Take the spare out.
Hey, I do want to give
Okay.
a shout out to Mike over at Gold Mine. He had a sale recently. $1 Vallejo paints
Good
So,
Lord.
Yeah.
You bought all the paints.
Yeah. So I was like, he's like, I said, can I call in an order or do I have to show up? And he's like, oh, I'd like to see your pretty face. And I was like, I know, but so he let me call in an order, and by the time I got through to him, like he got raped. Like it was like 800 paints and sold that day, right? Like that's like insane. Like his rack was cleared out. So I was like, all right, give me everything on row 5. Give me everything on row 7 and give me half of row 8. And he's like, all right, gotcha. So
is that errors or is that
that's a game color. That's just game color. Let's see, model color, I think.
Model color, yeah.
Model color.
There's some good colors in there.
Badass, man. For
Yeah, so for $1, yeah, I couldn't pass it up. I was like, dollar me that paint. Since model air is just like model color, like thinned out. So I was like, shit, yeah, I'll just thin that shit out. I got me some little tubes.
You gotta have a ketchup bottle full of water though.
Ketchup bottle full. Oh yeah, that's more imperative. Like I've been on the lookout for that them goods. So.
Pro tip.
Can't say I learned anything.
I was working on a gun the other night. Like I had to freaking I was like, I'm at the shop and I fire up my airbrush at the shop, which I have an airbrush over there, but it's like the Harbor Freight airbrush. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you guys use this, but I'm like more proficient with that freaking Harbor Freight airbrush than with this $100 Badger I got in here, right? Like, I mean, I can really throw some paint with it, and I don't feel bad about it either because I just let it get gummed up and I take it in and I get it warrantied. You know what I'm saying? Who warranties an airbrush? Harbor Freight. You know what I'm saying? So they even have
they reopened yet? Sorry to interrupt, but are they still closed?
Were they closed? I didn't know they were closed.
Yeah, they weren't. As far as like a week ago, they haven't reopened from Harvey.
Oh, that's why they're doing that everything cash sale out in the parking lot.
Okay, yeah, that would explain.
That's such a Harbor Freight thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Bring cash. Dude, you can get a motorcycle for like $27 the other day. I was like, shit, yeah, But anyway, so I'm got my airbrush and I'm like getting ready to throw down this bitch and paint scheme using an old airbrush trick on this Glock 19, right? Actually, Aaron's uncle, and so Aaron Gonzalez. Anyway, so I'm getting ready. I throw down the first line, all right, second line, and as I go to throw the third line down in the camo pattern, the compressor falls off the table, right? Just bam. Well, when it falls off, the hose breaks off at the connector. I'm like, motherfucker, right? So there I am. I got Cerakote drying in my airbrush gun. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I haul ass to home. I get to the house. I run in. I got not gas mask, but the painter's mask. Yeah, the air filter respirator on my face. And I run in, and I run into my hobby room, and here I am dismantling my airbrush so I can get the hose off of it. And all I can think of is like Kimmel gave me a hose. Like he mailed me a hose. I don't know why. It was like extra parts he had laying around and stuff. Like this is where
we can't even get the candy that Kimmel sends, and he's sending you fucking hoses.
Yeah, I got a hose.
Jesus Christ!
Fuck y'all, man.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
You're a hose.
You're a psycho hoser. Yeah, hoser, man. Anyway, so I grab the hose, get back to the shop, and complete the gun. Yeah. So I mean, but have y'all ever tried the Harbor Freight? I think it's Central New. What the fuck is that?
That's Izzy.
Sound like the fucking Ring.
Izzy wants me to let her out of the office. She's complaining to me.
Yeah.
Or the Grudge. That's what it was. It was
The Grudge.
It was that little
Grudge or
Japanese kid.
Or the Dark Crystal, like,
Fucking
That was pretty good, bro.
This is what's making the noise.
God damn.
no shame in those eyes.
Yeah.
let's see. I got a number for a good like ENT.
You got a CPAP machine for that dog?
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, poor Izzy.
There's a demon in it.
Yeah, so she doesn't really bark all that much. This is the noise that she makes when she communicates. Like she breathes fine, like she's just laying there. You don't hear her, but she's upset with me right now because she wants me to let her out.
Izzy gives no fucks.
She doesn't give any fucks. I will. Well, unless you pet me, and then I'm all.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
I know, Izzy.
She's like, get the fuck up already, pretty.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like bedtime, and so she's like, we normally go to bed about this time.
Do your fucking job.
I bet if Monica was a dog, she'd sound exactly like that.
She gives no fucks either.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do not tell her I said that.
Yeah. If she was to go back and listen to this, and you get murdered later, I'd not know what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is Mexican. She doesn't know how to use a knife and a gun, so fair warning.
Fair warning. Oh shit.
All right, man. I hate to bunk out early, but I gotta crash. I gotta work in the morning.
Because you're a little bitch.
Bye, Zach.
Bye,
bro.
Bye, Jake.
Love you,
Bye,
bro.
Long time.
I miss you.
Yeah. I miss your face. Suck it, Derek.
Suck it, Derek.
I love you too.
All right, guys. I'm out. FRB. Get fucked.
Get fucked.
I closed the wrong fucking window.
Suck it, bro. Suck
I
it.
noticed that before he started getting on Pornhub.
Oh, here in the background.
Yeah.
Is that making that face?
That's how I do it. No, left-handed inverted.
Yeah.
Stranger.
No, stranger.
It's what goes down the laundry room.
Pull something with that.
Oh, that's my bro.
With the first autoerotic asphyxiation.
All right, later, guys.
Later, man.
Suck it.
Later.
Fuck, I did it again.
He's still here. Oh man.
Oh shit.
That's hilarious. Hey, so let's talk for a minute. We had a couple of questions in the chat, and we've got RFI on with us. So if you guys late joining, Derek of RFI fame. Has,
Hello, everybody.
Yep, he's graced us with his presence, and they're asking. So I haven't listened to the last two RFIs, so I'm gonna let you know I'm behind the time.
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know, man. I'm behind, but
What the shit, pretty?
They're saying that there's been some talk about Stiff 4 on RFI. So they're asking what's the status. I mean, I can talk about the status, but they're referencing RFI, so I'm going to give you a chance to speak up.
All right, since you're RFI or whatever.
I know a lot of people have been asking about Heresy Camp, and there has been a lot of talks, and I have actually been present for some of these talks. Basically, the thought process is just kind of what's going to be going on there, kind of how we're going to handle all the special guests are going to get in. You know, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, but
RFI, folks. Let's hear it for him. Yeah, RFI.
Okay, so
this is what Michael left us for. Just FYI.
Derek is like you ever seen Pulp Fiction? He's like the gimp. Like Michael's like the cop, and like Kimmel kind of looks like the pawn store owner, and Derek's the gimp.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, hey man, it's whatever. But yeah,
we all have a job. We all got a role to play.
Right.
So can I talk about Stiff 4 and what I've heard from that?
Well, that's why I
think I just asked you.
He like led up to it and everything. It's like, look here, I'm gonna give Derek a sign. Like you had like center stage, Derek, like pretty
I didn't realize you were
I saw
giving me the chance to announce it. I didn't realize you were saying, all right, Derek, go ahead and drop the news on everybody.
Well, no, they're saying you guys have been talking about it on RFI. So that's why I'm bringing it up.
Have we?
That's what Garrett Lowe is saying. I have not listened to the last two R5s.
Allegedly.
So if that hasn't happened, you need to say, hey, that hasn't happened. Garrett's a liar.
I don't listen to that.
Well, I don't think so. So I'm not on this past episode. Really didn't mention anything about it. The one before that I had to miss because I am actively being homeless and I had to move all my shit out of my apartment. Yeah. So they might have talked about it on there. I missed it.
Oh, gotcha.
That was that weekend I played some games up there with y'all at Crossroads.
Yeah.
Like I managed to squeeze out a little bit of time away from moving to come throw down some games with my friends.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it was good times. I was just curious because I joking aside, I haven't listened to the latest two, so you know, I didn't know in what context that it was presented. Garrett just said that he was asking about, or someone was asking about Stiff 4 in the chat, and he said that RFI is saying it'd be held at Heresy Camp. Is where he was coming from. Yeah, Josh Korich asked, so when's Stiff 4? And then Garrett responds, RFI is saying Stiff 4 will be held at Heresy Camp. So that's why I kind of soft pitched you that. But if you weren't on that episode, you may not be in the loop.
I was not on that episode, but yeah, I guess if they announce it on RFI, then yeah, Stiff 4 is going to be at Heresy Camp.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What are you, Walter Cronkite with the late fucking news? Shit, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Derek. Hey, put the game back.
Sounds like we should have just asked the chat.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, if anybody out there knows anything I should know, feel free to fucking drop me an email at derek@warhammer30k.com.
Oh, see, look, there goes RFI playing on TFL.
Yeah, if you can, please send me an email about discussions on the podcast that I'm on, so that way I know what.
So just to kind of expand on that, the focus of RFI and TFL in 2018 is the main focus is Heresy Camp. So that seems to be where our collective creative energies in various levels are going to be focused. We did have some discussions a couple of weeks ago about it. So
is there a date, Pretty?
So no, there's no set date for Heresy Camp yet. That will be coming at some point in the next very near future. But as far as Stiff 4 goes, so how is the best way to explain this? So TFL is probably going to run something at Heresy Camp. I don't know that it's going to be labeled Stiff 4 specifically. And the only reason I say that is, Heresy Camp is going to be X amount of people that can go. Stiff 4 has been kind of a standalone thing. So I don't know. We'll wait and kind of see what happens with it.
I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you the bottom line, and this is it. We like you foreigners coming to Texas for our event. You know what I'm saying? Once a year, twice a year, and y'all are starting to like think about, hey, this is pretty nice over here, and we don't want you freaking idiots from all over the country coming here more than once. You know, we love you to death, you know, but we'll go to y'all. You know, it's like I don't have parties at my house because when I'm done, I like to tell everyone just get the fuck out. You know, and it's much easier for me to leave. You know what I'm saying? So. No, I'm just playing. That's the worst thing about this. Jay's like, fuck this podcast. I'm out of here. Did he say Tennessee? He said Tennessee, didn't he? I was like, no. We want you guys to come, but we feel that if you're gonna make the trip to Texas, you know, if we pull all our resources and everything and put together a kick-ass, not only event, you know, a Stiff event, but also a kick-ass Heresy Camp where you can experience like all the benefits we have to offer in one big weekend. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Shit. Instead, you know, we like to have it as big as Adepticon or Innova or something like that and be on the map. You know, Stiff is on the map, and Pretty's freaking narrative is freaking the tip. But you know, we don't want to spread ourselves so thin where our event suffers. You know.
Yeah,
well, on top of that, it gives folks more opportunities to come to your stuff. Like,
yeah,
I may not be able to go to one, but I might be able to go to another.
Right. True. Yeah.
So we're looking at the options. We'll see what happens. There will be a TFL narrative, and it very well may be called Stiff at Heresy Camp. But we'll kind of look at that as the coming weeks and months unfold. There's still a lot of discussions, a lot of planning to do. There's been some other stuff possibly in the works that may come out in the very near future also. So,
yeah,
you know, we'll see. But to Josh's point, having our focus in one point, you know, part of RFI is part of TFL. So, you know, having the focus in one area kind of makes the most sense for 2018. And we really think Heresy Camp could be a really cool thing. I think it's going to be when you guys really get like the details and see, and I don't want to step on RFI's dick, so I'm going to let them, because that's kind of an RFI thing. I'm going to let them kind of talk about the details in their coming episodes. But I think you guys are going to really like what you hear, and you're going to be wanting to come to Texas for it. So, yeah, just
I can guarantee you one thing.
Stay tuned.
You will not be turned away. You will not be turned away if you bring a 10,000-point army. We will fuck you up, TFL style, all day long.
You might be turned away, but your army won't.
Your army won't. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't tell you what TSA might.
Leave it on the table and get the fuck out.
Yeah, what happens with the
no, that's horrifying. We'll fuck you up first. TFL will fuck you up.
I will tell you though. So I will tell you in 2018, my goal is to, and beyond just our stuff, because I want to do more gaming. Because 2017 has been pretty gaming light for me. Beyond Adepticon and the few times I've been able to go to San Antonio and then get together with you guys. Yeah, I'm really looking at. I really want 2018 to hit some events, man. I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we over Heresy. We for me anyway, like we did Stiff and everything leading up to Stiff, and then the time of year, and then of course Stiff led into Adepticon, and then coming back from Adepticon, and I was like, fuck, that was a lot of heresy, man. I mean, that was a lot of fucking heresy. And I mean, not saying I don't have the stamina, because I'll rock that shit all night long, baby. But, you know, I didn't have the stamina. I fucking lost my shit.
Josh,
it's the old Toby Keith.
We're in our 40s. We're having to realize some limitations here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
you know,
it is
I
what
was
it
like,
is.
well, next year I could cut out the booze. No, that's not going to happen. Well, next year I could cut out the 22-hour drive. No, that's not going to happen. Shit, yeah.
No,
I mean, but I definitely see things swelling, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we might have bit off more than we could chew, but I don't think we're slowing down any. You know, I mean, I think we're all on board to give y'all the best heresy experience that we can offer, you know what I mean? And that's our goal, you know. I mean, you know, like I said, you know, shit, we want over the top. We want, you know, the you know, when someone says, hey, those Texas boys know how to fucking do it, they know exactly who you're talking about.
And not just talking about drinking or shooting guns, we're talking about heresy.
Right.
Also.
You know.
They do know we know about drinking and shooting guns.
That's right. We won't be sold short, you know.
Yeah.
The revolution will be televised, in the immortal words of Chuck D.
I tell you, we've got to get Jake down here.
Yeah, fuck yeah, we do.
I know what we're missing right now. Well, not just right now.
I don't know, man. I think Jake might seriously, you know, like put my manhood at risk. You know, like I mean, like I think you come down here and
don't worry, Josh. I don't use my teeth, so it'll
no. Not
he's very gentle.
not that manhood, but
super delicate.
Super delicate. Oh shit.
No, but for you know, I would love to get Jake down here, just to hang out. I'm looking forward to Adepticon to hang out with Jake in person.
Yeah, it's sad that we have to go all the way to Illinois to hang out.
I'm telling you, man. But
no,
hey, just come down here, shoot some guns, and drink some drinks, and fucking hang out on a beautiful Texas evening. I think would be badass. There might be some kissing involved. I don't know.
I'm good with it.
Man love. But
we get the tequila started, baby. And I can't promise where we'll end up.
But that's the thing, man. This hobby, and you know, I talked earlier about Adepticon and meeting people through this hobby, and you know, let me just sidetrack for a second. Part of what I've had to do through work this year is we have to do a thing called an unplugged, where we basically talk about ourselves, like give a presentation about ourselves, right? And to our employees. And this was the first time that I've ever talked like openly in a group about the full depth of my nerdiness. And you know, but people were cool. People were asking questions and really cool with it. But one of the things that I talked about in there was the such awesome people I've met through this hobby, and I've met through Adepticon. You know, met the Grey Legion dudes. You know, going on 5 years ago at Adepticon. Seen them every year. Made great friends through Adepticon, through TFL and the things that we've done, and now the podcasts are blown up. Met dudes like Jake. Met dudes like Samson. Oh shit, you know, Kimmel, Michael John. You know, just the list goes on. But and then gotten to hang out not just with Heresy, but hang out with these dudes as time goes on, you know, Freddie coming to Texas, Freddie and Michael John coming to Texas and just hanging out in Texas the week prior to Stiff. I mean, the week prior to Adepticon, attending Stiff and then, you know, drinking beers and just enjoying Texas with us was just so cool, man. And that's one of the things that this hobby, you know, I love as much as anything else. You know, get a game together with dudes, shoot some guns with dudes, drink some beers, just hang out, you know, whatever. It's been badass, man. And truly
I'll
badass.
say this, like the Horse Heresy podcasters group chat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the most active chat on my phone, and that's not just because there's more people in it, but it's like that's the one I interact with the most. Like those, seriously, people that I've never met, people that I've that live in different countries than me, are the people that I talk to the most in a regular day.
Yeah,
hell yeah,
because of this stupid game that we play. It's awesome.
Yeah, same here. My two chats is the TFL chat and the Wolfslayer chat, and it's just just exactly what you said. You know, dudes that I've never met in person. I'm planning to go to Sweden towards the latter part of next year, so hopefully meet those Swedish dudes in person and play some games with them. And Christopher and Nicholas and Linus and some of those dudes, Jens, that we haven't met yet in person, just to hang out. Again, Adepticon, meeting Jake in person. I know we've made I Love through here already, but meeting up in Chicago for that. It's just badass, man. I can't stress that enough. That's, to me, that's as much fun as anything else that I've run across in the hobby.
Yeah, dude, I know it's been more than I can keep up with. It's like hanging around with Michael, talking Kimmel and everything like that. It's like they just kind of know everybody, have this kind of rapport with everybody. I'm just kind of like trying to meet straight up like 60 people that they're just like constantly talking to. It's like an overload.
Well, you know what's going to help, Derek, is when you go to Adepticon, because that's what really kicked it for me. Is this kind of kicked off with TFL, and we started meeting people like through TFL like stuff, and then going to Adepticon that first year that after TFL was formed, and meeting people that we had met online through TFL or webcast. That's just kind of how it all rolled. And it was the same way. It's just like, wow, there's so many people that we're meeting that we talked to online or talked to on the phone.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Kimmel was a great example of that. We know him from the internet, but this bearded dude shows up and says, "I've got a 6x8 Estevan board that I brought for us to play on after hours." Like, what the shit is that all about?
It was massive.
Oh my god, it was.
Yeah, wait till I'm sitting there explaining to my wife, "Hey, I'm going to drive 9 hours to go spend the night with some guy in Indiana that I've never really met."
That's a conversation.
And I'm like, no, it's cool. Like I know him. Like it's good. Everything's good. It's just we haven't met in person. She's like,
he won't rape me. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Better hope it's Chris Hansen up there.
Yeah. He tells you to come into the kitchen.
Have a seat. Take a seat.
Hey, you're completely free to go.
Oh man. So Gooch is talking in the chat.
That's
here.
his hobby, man.
It is. Yeah, we've met people. So Gooch is a great example. We've met people like Raphael through the hobby that hopefully we'll get to Texas sometime soon. But he's talking about Stiff and following Stiff and wanting to come out and be there as a part of it. And it's awesome, man. There's people that we have yet to meet that we will meet. I'm fully sure that we will meet and to bond with, in whatever ways happen. So, yeah.
Hey, Jake. Check that out. Look at that. See if I can get this to focus.
Looks like a black.
Come on.
Black.
I need light. Put light on it.
Fuck. Hang on. Shit.
Turn on the shower light.
Doc. Turn on the shower. Yeah, where's the vanity?
Get that vanity.
All right. Let's see if I can make this fucking magic happen.
I like where it's going.
So bright. So bright.
What is that?
It's a fucking Praetor.
Love it.
It's looking good, man.
I love that head.
Kind of looks like Bussy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's looking good, man.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, while I've been sitting here, since we're show and telling, I've been putting together this little bastard, a Rune Priest.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I put this big box of freaking militia together. I just kind of scooped them all in there.
Sprayed some glue, just shook the box up a little bit.
Yeah. But the fucked up thing is that like I'm all spoiled on these decorative bases, right? So like I glued some down to some regular bases just so I could stand them up, and I was gonna start priming them, and I was like, no, I'll just keep on assembling until I get them all assembled. And then by then I should have some decorative bases that I can glue them down to. Nope. So now I just scooped them into the friggin' like I'm at the command squads now, so I'm gonna have to find me some decorative bases. I'm a base snob now.
That's where you got to be, man.
Never thought I'd be the base snob, but I'm here.
I gotta.
Hey, have I showed you guys the model that Max made for me? Have I showed you guys that?
No.
That I'm using as he's my essentially like my Wolf Guard battle leader, like a Centurion. See, but it's basically like a Mark IV true scale. Tell me if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
And he green stuffed so basically it's like Terminator legs, Terminator arms, but he kind of and a Terminator chest, but he did them to kind of look like Mark IV. That would help. And then he custom made the cape for him and the hood, and then and it's really cool. He's got like one of the the leather masks or whatever, kind of on his face. Pretty badass.
Man, I can barely like fill a hole with green stuff, and they do like sculpted shit.
Yeah, Max was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some shit." I was like, "Cool, bring it on, baby."
Yeah, Max is a cool dude.
Max is a cool dude.
And he can drink.
Once
drink
again,
like nobody's business.
Old Blighty.
Old Blighty. Yeah, I'm hoping that that we can meet up. So like Max and Tom and Phil and those guys from England. That's really all these guys. That's some of the guys that we have yet to like. They're not coming to Adepticon.
Cross swords with.
We haven't been able to cross swords with. I'm hoping maybe because they're starting to go to Sweden. So I'm hoping maybe I'll get to meet them in Sweden next year if we are at the same event. But yeah, I'd really like to meet those guys in person too.
Oh, Sweden.
Told you guys you gotta go.
Hey, speaking of Sweden,
I can't believe how far north Sweden is.
Oh yeah,
like, it's damn near the fucking like north ass pole.
Yeah. I saw some Swedish movies.
How are they?
They're freaking glorious. They're glorious movies. Fantastic Swedish movies. Yeah, I took my son to ACL, which is Austin City Limits. It's a huge music festival. It spans over 2 weekends, like 3 days each weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And one of the bands was a woman named Tuvlu, something like that. And she's from Sweden. I was like, oh, sweet, right? So like reading the review and all, and it's like she performs most of her concerts topless. I'm like, surely this can't be, right? But yeah. So we're watching the concert, right? And she's got her top on. Zach's like, see, bro, told you she's not gonna take off her top. And like, I shit you not, right? It was me, my son, and my brother. And the last minute of the last song, she takes off her top, and I turn to my son and I'm like, now, snap the picture. So he gets his camera out and he gets the picture, and I'm like, and immediately starts sending it to all his friends, right? And he goes, I'm such a god right now. I'm like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. To see the live boobs.
What was it?
It was like that moment.
Yeah, this is important.
It's TOVELUV.
Like, what does she mean? Anything we know?
Disco tits. No.
I sent you that picture.
Yeah. She actually has a song called "High All the Time," and you've probably heard that song. It's like the radio song, "High All the Time," and it's pretty good. Yes. Did I go want to see her because she, her boobs pop out? Yes. Did they pop out?
That's
Yes.
I mean,
she delivered.
That's would you have went without that? No. Would she have made your money?
I kind of wonder if that's how it goes down in Sweden. I mean, like I really, like Hey Freddie, the girls just walking around like doing concerts with their tops off. I mean,
dude, it's too damn cold. It snows in like August.
Hey Josh, I've heard the song before. I'm listening to the Stay High song.
Yeah. I told you, man. It's pretty good.
Yeah, she's kind of hot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Her boobs were fantastic. So, but my son,
she's not pulling them out in the video yet, though.
My son got to experience two Swedish boobs. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Totally worth the price of admission, huh?
Oh yeah. It's like you remember those movies in the '80s? So like you'd watch the whole movie for that one 2 second boob shot. Now it's like it's grossly offensive. Like dudes fucking pies and Elizabeth Shannon taking her, whatever. But I mean, like, it was worth it. Yeah.
So who else did you guys see at ACL? I saw the lineup, so
we saw Chili Peppers. They headlined the first night.
I feel like they would be awful live.
They were actually really good. They sounded live. And whoever's doing the sound for ACL, hats off to that guy because like their shit sounded on point. Like I mean, it was good. It's
hard to get good sound there because it's literally in a park. Yeah,
but so we saw live. Get this, like, and I'm thinking about it, right? All the bands that we saw were like bands from my era. I mean, like I'm 42. I mean,
live's
27.
so fucking good.
But live was good. I mean, and the dude looked better. Now they look like 20 years ago, man. I mean, really. I mean, he did Lightning Crashes and like
the last time I saw them live was literally probably 20 years ago. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was surprised when Zach said y'all saw them. I was just like, they're still around? What?
Yeah. We thought they were died. But no, the guy looks great. Like he's being frozen every year. I don't know, but the dude had some definitely. He was looking good. Not in the biblical sense, but like I mean,
Yeah.
If I was a woman,
shit
I would.
Town.
Yeah. Shit town. Gotta live. Yeah. Oh yeah. Shit town. Yeah. But we saw Ice Cube.
For real,
dude. Yeah, and when they played "Fuck the Police," I looked over at my brother and I was like, "Oh yeah, he played "Fuck the Police." He said and they go through the whole. They told us backstage we couldn't, and no one gives a shit anymore, right? If you're walking around saying "Fuck the president," "Fuck the police," ain't that big of a deal, you know what I'm saying? So the thing is that my brother's a cop, so I looked over at him and I was like, "They're gonna do it. They're gonna do "Fuck the Police." and my brother starts laughing, right? And I was like, no. Then he busts off and "Fuck the police," and like my brother's face just fell, kind of like, really. But at the end of it, he was singing it too. So I was like, yeah.
You kind of can't help but
you sing "Fuck the Police," right?
Yeah, it's such a catchy tune.
Yeah. Fuck the police. Fuck. Yeah. What? Fuck the police. Yeah. It was great. So my brother participated in "Fuck the Police." Yep. But yeah, he did. Today was a good day, which he was going to do that.
Oh yeah, he's got to do that.
Got to do that.
He had so much good stuff. If you go back and listen, because that was my high school days when Cube was actually putting out music on a regular basis.
It's Cube, is it? It's Cube. Yeah, it's Cube. Yeah, pretty on first name basis with a Cubester. Yeah.
You don't know my life, Josh.
Yeah, right, you gangster. You're like, what's up?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what, though, man. Like, after watching him and Are We There Yet? Getting his ass kicked by those two kids and a deer, I was like, dude, you ain't gangster. You ain't gangster at all. Oh, man.
That's when you grow up and figure out, if I want to have a house in Beverly Hills, I've got to do some Are We There Yet? Are We There Yet 2? Are We There Yet? Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, you went there. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it has to happen. Ice-T's the same way. I love Ice-T. He's hardcore. I'm not gonna lie, but Ice-T's been on SVU for 97 years.
Why? Because it pays.
Ice-T Ice-T will be around forever.
And of course, he still does music, just like Ice Cube. He comes out, he just came out with a Body Count album this last year, and he did some pretty sick Slayer covers that I saw on YouTube. But yeah, just those guys, they know, they've figured out like what it takes to really like live large in the entertainment industry, and they're multifaceted, all of them.
Yeah.
And, producers, directors, writers, music, acting. They're on all that stuff. I mean, these dudes are super talented.
Oh yeah.
So I'm jealous. I've never seen Ice Cube live, so pretty envious of that.
It was Ice Cube. Yeah, he was top notch, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty. That's pretty cool, man. I've seen live.
And he entertained. I mean, he entertained. He had the crowd pump, like, party over here, fuck you over there. I mean, it was like, yeah, the whole crowd was chanting.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he knows his business, man. I mean, he's been around since the '80s.
Yeah.
And
he just did Straight Outta Compton and stuff like that. So it's like, this dude, man. Yeah, he definitely knew how to work the crowd. Hey, I need to take a minute. I need to do a shout out here too one more time. Jameson Durham, man, this guy come out of the blue, and he got turned on to me by Michael, and this dude was top notch, man, top notch. Because he calls me up and says, "Hey, man, I hear you into old paints, old Citadel paints." I said, "Yeah, man." I said, I still have some of the old Citadel paints. And he goes, I'm thinning out the herd, and would you be interested in some paints?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, man." Dude sent me.
Oh, shit.
Hot damn.
Yeah, look at these old schoolers. Remember those caps?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
you had to beat on the bottom of your
line.
desk to break it loose.
Yeah. So, I mean, stuff like Scorpion Green, like he had a Scorpion Green in here. I was like, "Is that Scorpion Green?" He says, "Sure is Scorpion Green."
Dude, that's like a fine wine, man. It's been waiting.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they're fresh, man. Like, they haven't even been cracked. So I'm looking at these colors. I'm going, oh, man, bestial brown. Like, how can you not have, oh, yeah, Graveyard Earth. That's
just got to decide what projects you're going to break those out on.
Yeah. I have enough paints here that like I think these militia are going to be painted in these old Citadel colors. So,
dude, I wish I had 5 gallons of Devlin mud.
Oh yeah.
The one I miss the most is oh shit, something. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The one I miss the most is it's the gold. What was it called? Oh my God, Shining Gold. Because there was 2 golds. There was a Shining Gold, and and Shining Gold was the one that you wanted, man. It was definitely the best gold. That was the Dwarf Bronze was good too. Like, as far as like being now you got
10 bits, baby.
Stuff, 10 bits, yeah, 10 bits is not bad. Shit, yeah, but yeah, I think.
Motherfucker!
What is it? Oh, what happened? You all right? We have a busted down.
What happened? Where did he go?
Oh, fuck me!
Man down, man down,
man down. There
So
he
I
is.
got my phone up on this shelf, and that's kind of what I said at the very beginning, boy. If that some bitch goes down, well, it went down.
It went down like a $2 hook.
Oh man. So is your laptop still kaput?
Oh yeah, it's fucked.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm still without a fucking
phone.
computer.
I got
That's what's
phone.
got Covenant of Fire on hold. Hopefully this winter I'll be able to get mine fixed, or because it's like $600 to send it off and get them to completely like Okay, here's the real deal. Don't let your kids play with bubbles around your laptop.
No,
that shit will absolutely fuck a computer.
It goes south.
Yeah. So, but for $600, they'll go through and change out everything that's water damaged and get it back to working as new, and it's pretty much guaranteed. And so I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. But
that's not bad.
No, it's not. It's just one of those.
A new one.
No, and it probably would have happened a lot quicker, but then the transmission went out in my truck, and that's kind of put me on fucking bullshit avenue for a little while.
Man, I've had truck
When they go,
fever lately.
here's a phone call. You just want to drop $3,300 today. Just come on by.
Yikes!
It's like, motherfucker.
Ouch.
Yeah, I've really been having the truck fever. I just keep telling myself I don't want a second car payment. That's the only thing stopping me. There was a silver. Josh, I appreciate this. I know you won't, Jake, but I looked at a silver 2016 Chevy 2500. I already had a.
What do you need that much truck for, pretty? That's
Dude,
too much truck for you, man.
no,
2,500.
So if I want to pull an RV of any
Gas
any
or
size,
diesel motor?
it's gas, 6.2. So 6.2 liter gas. Legit, man. And the price is good.
Hell yeah,
but
man.
I'm just like,
Car payment. I thought you were getting a vet, man. Like you were like all. Hey, the next vehicle will be like a sports car.
I keep going back.
Don't
and forth.
push out. Don't push out.
I keep looking at stuff I need to.
You have friends that have trucks. Hey, Josh, can I borrow your truck? Sure. Can I go for a ride in your vet? Sure. See how that works?
That's true. Good point. Good point, sir. Josh brings me back to earth. I'm glad Josh is here.
Josh is like, fuck, man, stop being so selfish.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Now, my wife and I have been talking every once in a while about getting an RV, and I was like, man, I gotta have a decent truck to pull it if we do that. So that's kind of what spurred that a little bit. But
dude, don't leave your Vanquishers in the truck in Texas.
Yikes!
It's like
go for that.
Oh
right.
shit!
Bad idea.
I'll tell you this: the gas motors will pull them fine. You'll get a lot worse mileage.
Yeah.
And they run it a lot. If it's anything like the Ford 6.2, it makes its power at like 5,000 RPM.
Yeah.
So you're just going to be sitting there screaming the whole time.
No, it actually hits a little lower. My dad's GMC 2500 was the 6.2, and you were hitting full on about 3,200 RPM.
Let me tell you something.
It was hitting a lot lower.
It'll never be like a Ford because it's a Chevy, and Chevy.
It shan't.
Chevy
sucks.
Whatever.
Josh knows better. Josh is gonna stop talking. Josh and his Chevy 1500 over here. LTZ.
Hey, my Chevy El Camino, 1972. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I can tell you this: pulling my tractor back. I had my tractor and my bush hog and a finish mower.
Was a tractor a Ford
and
too?
all of our shit.
Was
it actually is a Ford. It's a Ford 1910.
No wonder you were pulling it.
But I had my little brother's 03 F250 with the 6.0. My ass was doing 90 miles an hour through the middle of Huntsville before I looked down and went, oh shit, yeah, this probably ain't good. I wasn't paying a bit of attention in the world. I had it in tow mode, so it doesn't shift into overdrive, and so it's sitting there. You're in the power band pretty much, the whole time you're touching. Yeah. So you touch the gas pedal. I mean, it was like you didn't even know it was fucking back there. Like I said, I'm just sitting there in the left lane passing motherfuckers, and I'm wondering why everybody's looking at me. Yeah, it's because I'm a dumbass pulling a trailer at 90 miles an hour on the 565.
That's what I loved whenever I was working in Gonzales. I actually was living in an RV, my dad's RV, and so I pulled it with his GMC because I didn't have a truck, and I was able to pull it between Port Lavaca to Gonzales and Gonzales to Beeville when I had to move to Beeville for work. And the same thing, man. You're pulling a 12,000-pound trailer, 13,000-pound trailer, and I was running 75. No worries,
no fucks were given that day.
Man, it was solid, straight as an arrow. So I don't know. That's kind of the thing. The only thing I don't like is the gas mileage sucks dick. When you
they blow.
Yeah, it's like 13 and 17 for a 6.2. So
oh fuck, that's great. I get 11.
Oh shit. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, sure.
That's not making myself that I want a second car payment right now. So
Yeah, that's tough.
Corvette.
I know, and that's the other piece of it back of my mind telling me, like, just borrow somebody else's truck. That's something
That's
fun.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you borrow my truck anytime.
Pretty, just come to my house, and then we'll get my truck, and then we'll drive back, and then we'll get your camper.
I love it. There you go. All right, guys. It's 11.
It's got to be an efficient use of time.
It's 11 o'clock, man. I'm going to pull the cord and get out of here.
All right. Yeah, I think it's about time and wrap it up. I'm going to maybe go watch some TV or something or crash out on the couch.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for showing up today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's always
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
God damn, man. Why don't like Legion? Don't like Chevrolets? Why do I like you, Jake? Shit. At least you got Heresy going for you and a killer facial hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, loyalist all the way, baby.
There you go.
Oh my God! Oh, you're killing
Get a
me.
little fist bump right there.
Yo, loyalist.
Hey, Jake. You know what's going to happen? We're gonna get matched up against Josh and Zach at the.
Fuck, I'll call him out first round. I don't
tournament.
give a shit.
Oh, is that right? Oh, is that right? Get some. Come get some.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I can see it now.
You know what? You might want to call the rest of Tennessee and warn them about the flood because your tears are going to be flooding the whole state. We'll be flooding that whole state out. You know.
I'll tell you what, Josh. You can be excited because I'm actually in the market for a real Heresy army, like some actual trader action going on.
Damn right. Because where would Heresy be without the traders? Nowhere. That's right.
Just
It'd be
in the
Great
Imperium.
Crusade.
It would be called like happy fun time with no battles. That's what it would
Peace
be.
Hammer.
It's like, what do y'all do? We just walk around on this wall. Yeah, that's what
We
we
just
do.
sit around and watch fucking Pornhub all day.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that.
One big right arm.
No. Sounds great.
Your Power Fist.
They don't call me Power Fist Johnson for nothing. Yeah.
Johnson, no.
All right, guys.
All right.
You guys take it easy. We will catch y'all later.
Yeah. FRB. Good night,
FRB.
fellas.
Good night, everybody.